The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow,
here we go. There we go. There we go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle on Talk Radio. Of course, with time to change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner, dear listener, can make all of the bloody difference. We're talking more about that. We're going to do an hour with time to change after 11 o'clock, so you can call in about, you know, how you, if you just want to check in and see how you're feeling, then tonight is the night if you play your cards right. I'm having a really rum old day. It's been a rum old day. Yesterday was one of the weirdest days I've had in a long time. And maybe, baby, I will tell you about it one day. I will not be telling you about it tonight, but maybe one day I will. And, of course, me and Kath actually bunked off yesterday so that we could go and see Stephen Page. And I'll tell you why. 10 years ago, I interviewed Stephen Page when he was a member of the Ace Bare Naked Ladies, OK? It was when I was at another radio station. And I think I interviewed him and Tyler, the drummer, on a Wednesday or a Thursday. And after the interview, they said, "Are you coming to the show on Friday?" And I said, "Well, no, I can't because I'm doing a radio show." And I think the show at the time went out between 7 and 10. I said, "I can't. But I'll catch you guys next time you're around." And, of course, he never played another show in this country with the band. And so when I heard that Stephen Page was doing a tour, I had to take the night off. And that 10-year itch has been scratched. It was good last night, wasn't it, Kath?
Oh, my God, it was so
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. We've still got loads of dates. He's doing London on Friday at Bush Hall. Loads of other dates. Go and see him, right? Because he's brilliant. It's the three of them, and they sound amazing. And then he does one song where he goes off mic and he just walks around the venue singing it. A little bit like a show-off. But why not when you've got lungs like that?
It's beautiful.
It was stunning. He was walking around in between the tables, singing, without a microphone. It was amazing, guys. Go and see it. I even give you permission to bunk off listening to this rubbish one night to go and see him. Good evening, Jerry.
Hello. You can crack one off over my head if you want.
I can do what with what now?
Knock one out over my head if you want.
I don't want to know. I didn't know you're talking about you strange sexual deviant. What you got for us, Jer?
I've got weed on my plaster.
You've got what?
I've weed on my plaster cast. It stinks.
You've weed on your plaster?
Yeah, not by on purpose.
Well, these things happen. As we get older, you know,
over the week.
My downstairs isn't working as effectively as it should be, Jerry, and I'm embracing it.
Embrace it. I've seen them live twice.
Embrace Danny McNamara. Anyway, that's a tangent I don't want to go down.
No.
Well, we're talking about wee. I saw someone tip out a lot of wee onto the road today. You know, like sometimes you get caught short and maybe you've got a bottle in there. He'd sawed the top off what looked like kind of a cooking oil container.
Let's try and keep the show above the waist this evening.
I know, I was just so shocked by it, and we exchanged a look afterwards that said I knew what that was, and so did he.
What I want to do is now we're award winners. Who knows who may be listening to us? You know, the Radio 4 could want me back. So let's try and keep it above the waist this evening, if we can, please, dear listener. Thank you very much indeed.
How's the concert?
The concert was fabuloso, Jerry. It was wonderful. It was well worth bunking off for. It's a lovely venue, the Bear Club in Luton. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it's a stunning venue. And it was a wonderful gig. And Stephen Page was very gracious and embraced us before and after the show.
Embrace again.
There we go, Danny McNamara. We are now good friends with Kevin Fox, his cellist, who came and spoke to us about 20 minutes before the show.
No relation to Dr. Fox.
No. Jerry, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to starting from 2 seconds ago. And boy, oh boy, you better have some gold tonight. Otherwise, I'm going to cut you off. I'm in that kind of mood tonight, Jerry, where I'm going to cut people off.
That's okay. You can cut me off.
Okay, fine. That's fine. I mean, it's that kind of mood tonight where if people aren't delivering, they're going. And everyone's got to up their game a little bit this evening, is what I think. So we saw Stephen Page, and it was brilliant. But the night before, and I forgot, I wanted to talk about this. The night before, Catherine and I went out for a pre-show meal. Pre-show meals we do occasionally. And didn't fancy any of the usual haunts that we go to. So didn't fancy Culture Grub, the Chinese, didn't fancy Byron Burgers, certainly didn't fancy a Nando's, didn't fancy the tapas.
And that Japanese place we found the other week was a bit of a disappointment.
The Japanese place, it was very, very poor indeed. But we'd seen we saw a restaurant that we walked past a few times. I went, well, let's try that. But what I didn't know, dear listener, that it was a restaurant that was part of a hotel. You had to walk through, and that should have been my first thing. You had to walk through a hotel to get to it, and that should have been my sign to go, do you know what? Let's not bother. Because I'll be honest, we didn't get a lot for 50 quid. 50 quid for a meal. That's one glass of wine as well. 50 quid. When the bill came, I thought, what the And also, it was so noisy in there. Not only did they have Sky Sports on, but they had this really loud music, and it was really, really loud. Pop music. Deafeningly loud. But it wasn't a nightclub. It wasn't a disco. It was a restaurant. And there was a family in there with babies. And the music was so dark as well. We had to shine our phones on the menu to see what the hell was going on. What is that about?
It's like eating in Abercrombie and Fitch.
Now, how can Abercrombie and Fitch still exist? Because we know they only employ hot young men and fit young women. We know that, right? But that's against the law. That's discrimination.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
Is it, though? Because my sister, when she was an air hostess, had to send, not only a facial picture, she had to send her measurements and a head-to-toe shot to be selected. So they're clearly going for a look.
Right, so, well, hang on. So hang on, why are you saying that, but as an argument that Abercrombie and Fitch isn't...
No, I'm saying it must be allowed if they're selecting people on the basis of look.
It can't be. It cannot be. It's discrimination.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to give, I'm running a shop, and I'm gonna do it on looks, okay? So I want a headshot. Right, and on my left, I'm going to put a pile of the beautiful white young people that I want to interview, and on the right, I'm going to put a pile of the black people I don't want to interview. See, that's not allowed.
No, you're not allowed to discriminate on the basis of race.
Well, then you can't discriminate.
On the basis of fitness.
You cannot discriminate on the basis of fitness. Then
you can.
Well, that can't.
Turns out you can.
No, I'm saying is that can't be that can't be legal. It can't be. There has to be. You can't.
Well, you could have an ugly one in there.
No, but you're. No. Listen, you're not listening to me. You can't do that because there have been cases of shops where people have complained that they didn't get the job because their bust wasn't big enough, and those people have gone to court. That's not allowed. That's not allowed.
I don't know about that case.
Oh, it's true.
I worked in shops. They always pick people who look smart.
I cannot believe. Alan, what do you want?
Hi.
There we go, it's gone. I'm not in that kind of mood tonight. No, I'm in that kind of mood tonight. No, I don't know. Right. Can you go and get me the Daily Star, please? Because I didn't get the Daily Star. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. I'm not really sure where to go with the show tonight. It's always weird, having taken a night off. And, like Hooters. Thank you very much, person on Periscope. Hooters discriminates, doesn't it? That can't be allowed. There has to be a law. You can't employ someone, because they're better looking than someone else. You can't. That has to be against the law. I cannot believe there is no law against that. Someone phone me up and tell me, because honestly, that simply cannot be the case. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with time to change. Yes, Andre?
Hi, Ian.
Yes, what do you want? Yeah, okay. Thanks very much for calling. I just can't be bothered with tonight. I just can't really. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Fast food giant Burger King seems to take a pop at rival McDonald's in a scary killer clown advert. The Daily Star, it would appear, is obsessed with these killer clowns. They had one the other day, a story about killer clowns. And we all know, don't we, that these killer clowns only exist in the newspaper. They're not real. No one has ever... I tell you what, Ray. Oh, Jesus! Look, Ray's getting a cob on for no reason whatsoever. Dearie me, Ray. Do I want calls? Yes, but I want good calls, Ray. Do I want good tweets? Yes, good tweets only, Ray. Thanks for telling me how to do my show once again, Ray. Good evening, Garry.
All right. I'd like to talk about personal space. I had a mate last night.
Okay. Here we go. Now we're in.
Drinking.
Yes.
Invading your personal space and shit. I don't like it. Don't it grab me?
Okay, Garry, you've just dropped the S-bomb. That's a yellow card, but we're all right.
All right. Sort of swearing. But they were doing that last night. And I don't understand why people get upset about invading personal space.
Hang on, so who was your space being invaded, or were you invading someone else's?
No, I got invaded.
Okay, well, what happened?
Well, we were sat drinking. But I heard James Welton out about you touching his forehead or something.
Okay.
So I get a bit upset about invading personal space as well.
Just tell me your story, for crying out loud, man.
All right.
Otherwise, I'm going to invade your personal space with my fist.
Well, do that then.
I will do that.
All right.
I will do that, fella.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Threatening my hair.
Now you're just slurring words together like a hopeless drunk.
You're threatening my hair.
Yes.
What's all that about?
Yes, I'm threatening you. I challenge you to a fight.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I want to fight you.
Why?
Because you won't tell me your flipping story, you muppet.
All right, I will.
Then do it.
Me mate.
And if it's no good, I will still want to fight you.
All right, cheers. Well, my mate sat next to me, grabbing me and rubbish like that.
Yes.
And I'm like, get off me.
Have you got something in your mouth?
That's not nice. No, I've got no teeth at the moment.
Right, why have you got no teeth? Where have your teeth gone?
Gone.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't know where your teeth are?
Well, but it's been somewhere in the dentist's chair, maybe. I don't know.
What the hell? Why do you have your teeth fallen out? Did you used to brush them?
I did, yes, but I got a disease on my teeth, so I had to pull them out.
Is it gingivitis?
It's not gingivitis, no.
What is it? What disease on your teeth have you got?
I don't know what it was.
No, you didn't think to ask when he pulled out all of your teeth?
Yes. It was something. I can't remember what it was, but something. There's a word for it. I can't remember.
There will be a word. There will definitely. Here's the thing I know about dental hygiene. If there is a disease that makes all of your teeth need to be taken out, then I would definitely think there is a word for it. Yes, you didn't. You didn't remember the disease that caused all of your teeth to be pulled out. Did you consider the dentist was invading your personal space when he had his pliers in your mouth and was ripping out your manky teeth?
I did a bit. I wanted to smack him one, but...
Well, you were going to punch a dentist?
Well, I'm not going to punch a dentist, but I felt like it because it was very painful.
Yeah. Well, and now you understand why I want to fight you, because this is very painful to me.
What is painful to you?
This phone call is as painful to me as it was for you to have your teeth pulled out.
Why is that?
Well, because it's painful to have your teeth pulled out.
Well, yeah. Why is this phone call painful?
Because it's going nowhere, and it sounds like you've got a sausage in your mouth.
Well, probably, because I've got nothing.
Yeah, well, now we know that. But here's the thing. How can you be so dumb, right, as to not remember... Yes, dumb. As to not remember...
Just because I'm sick of James Well, he called me dumb.
Yeah, right. You go and... I didn't that. All I got was James Well, dumb, right? If you had a disease that meant...
Oh, bye.
Sorry?
Cutting you off.
What do you mean you're cutting me off? Right.
Please hang up.
He's not done it very... He can't even do that properly.
Please hang up.
He can't even do that properly. Flipping heck. Oh, man alive. Hang on a minute. He can't even hang up properly. What the hell is going on with this guy? For crying out loud. If you had a disease that meant all of your teeth had to be removed... You would know what the name of that disease was. Jeez, Garry. You would know, wouldn't you? Yeah, we've got to take all your teeth out. Why, Scotland? You've got a disease. All right, is there a word for it? Yes, there is. You would think you would know what the word was. Wouldn't you? Oh, flipping heck. Yes, Joe.
Hello, Ian. How are you?
I'm very well, Joe. How are you?
I've got a little story for you, what happened to me today. And it's got a good moral to it, and it's not horrendous. But an hour ago, I got home from the Royal Free Hospital in Hampstead, and I really would like to praise all the nursing staff and the doctors. They were absolutely marvellous.
They get paid?
Oh, they should get paid millions.
Well, go on. Did you? I'm assuming you put some money in an envelope and gave it to the nurses. Did you?
Well, I'll tell you what. I wasn't able to because, but it is a consideration. But you'll love this. I'll keep it very clean. I've had surgery on my left testicle today here. And I just wanted to share something with the male listeners. Don't do what I did and ignore a lump for
No one ignores lumps in their testicles anymore. Only idiots.
I know.
Everyone checks their balls. Everyone gets their partner to check their balls. I'm checking my balls all the time. I'm checking my balls now while I'm talking to you. And as soon as I find anything that's like a lump, I'm gonna go straight to the doctors, and I'm gonna whip my balls out as soon as I've walked through the door. Before I've even shut the door, my balls are gonna be out. No one ignores lumps in their balls anymore.
No, I was very silly. I'll put my hands up 100%.
That's it. You put your hands up. You should have put your hands down, man.
Down, yes. Well, I was scared, to be honest, Ian, and in case it was something rather sinister.
But the thing is, right? Lumps on your balls is nothing now. All they do at worst, if you notice it early, which if you check it every day, you will. That you go in. At worst, they'll whip a ball out, and that's it. And then they can put like a little, those plastic balls that just bounce forever. They'll put one of those in, and then you can rock them together like clackers.
Oh my God! Well, this would turn out to be a hydrocele, which is a sac that grows on the testicle and fills up with fluid.
I don't want to hear about your fluidy balls.
No,
I don't want to.
Now.
I don't want to hear about it.
Oh, I thought you might laugh, actually. And I'm in agony as I'm speaking, but I'm so glad I went today. And so is my good lady, who's been nagging me a bit, but she's right to have done so.
You better, to save your face, you better tell me you demanded they put that ball in with a jar of pickled onions.
Pickled onions? Oh, well, I did cross my mind.
What a waste of a bollock. For God's sakes, man. If they're going to take out a testicle, you got to get some fun out of it.
No, they didn't remove the testicle. They removed this.
So you've still got both your testicles?
I have, but one.
Good day to you. Wasn't a story. Wasn't a story. Everybody, just check your balls now. I'm going to check them now. I'm checking my balls now. Oh. Oh, no, nothing there. Got to touch the screen with that finger. Sorry. Should have done that with my left hand. Nothing there. Didn't even remove his ball. The Star is the only newspaper, and the Express to a certain extent. Not tonight, Andre. The Star and the Express are the only papers that are obsessing with this killer clown phenomenon. Dun, 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 dun. Killer clowns don't exist. They happen because that rubbish movie came. They don't exist. I know it's Halloween's coming up and all, it's spooky. They don't exist. No one exists. No one exists. Some people exist, that's true. Fast food giant Burger King seems to take a pop at rival McDonald's in a scary killer clown advert for a free Whoppers stunt. The ad has also sparked fears that sick pranksters could hijack the event for Halloween. What? Let's turn to page 5 to get more on this. Burger King is urging youngsters to dress up as killer clowns this weekend. In exchange, they will get a free burger. Now, that to me sounds like a deal. That I can dig. Good for them. Oh, the chain is offering a complimentary Whopper to the first 500 youngsters who turn up at its flagship Leicester Square restaurant. Geez, if that's Burger King's flagship restaurant, imagine what the worst bottom of the line, what would be the opposite of a flagship? A boxcar. Imagine what their Boxcar Willie restaurant is like. It must be the pits, man, because the one in Leicester Square... You try going in there at 2 o'clock in the morning. Jeez. The chain is offering a complimentary Whopper to the first 500 youngsters who turn up at its flagship Leicester Square restaurant in London dressed as clowns between 7 p.m. and 3 a.m. on Saturday. That's quite a wide window. The PR stunt could be seen as a cheeky dig at rivals McDonald's, whose mascot, Ronald McDonald, is an insane genius clown. I started watching that film about McDonald's, starring, not the Batman, the guy from Multiplicity, Michael Keaton. And here's my thing now. I've watched so many films on Netflix and Amazon Prime, and I've started giving them half an hour. And half an hour into them, if I'm bored still at half an hour, I go, well, this ain't worth watching. And I never used to do that. And I did that with the McDonald's film on Netflix. Boring. And I did it today with The Martian. You know, the one about the lad that gets stuck on a planet and he grows a potato in his own fecal matter, right? And I wanted to see it for quite a long time. And I was watching it, thinking, nothing's going. This is the most boring film in the world. And I looked, there was another 2 hours to go. Of what, him growing vegetables on Mars? You're, really? Flipping it. What a load of old rubbish. Absolute tosh. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
Right, Garry, whose teeth fell out... Sorry. Garry, whose teeth was surgically removed, has remembered the name of the disease. Right? He's tweeted me. This is, I'm assuming from, he's put Rom. This is from Garry. Gum disease and then decay. Oh, that's it. You didn't brush your teeth properly. That's all that is. That's all that is. 0344 499 1000 is the Right, Darren Ratcliffe on Twitter, you're blocked for trolling me. And you'll be hearing from my legal team in the morning. The Martian is a great film, and so is the McDonald's one, in fairness. That is, you're trolling me, you're blocked. Two of the most boring films I have ever had the misfortune to watch the first 29 minutes of. Oh, yeah, I've got to say this tonight. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio. And, of course, with our friends at Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. So it's Time to Change to find out more. We'll be talking more about that after 11 this evening. There are fears it could backfire if sick pranksters try to hijack it. Your Daily Star reported last week how the sick killer clown craze, killer cows, now that would be sick, killer clown craze, which first emerged last year, is back with a vengeance. No, it's not. It's a made-up story. It doesn't really happen. Last Tuesday, teenagers wearing creepy clown masks and orange jumpsuits were spotted jumping in front of cars and scaring mums out with their children. The Burger King's posters feature a clown that looks... I tell you who's creepy is the Burger King. That guy. Have you seen that guy? Because his face is like a normal face, but like 0.3 bigger, isn't it? What is that about? Who is this king? Who died and made him king? The Burger King's posters feature a clown that looks eerily similar to the murderous Pennywise, the villain in Stephen King's disappointing novel It, which has been made into 2 crappy movies. The sick craze swept across Britain in 2016. I have never seen a killer clown out and about. Because it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. There are no photos of this. Everyone's got a mobile phone. Everybody's got... So if there were killer clowns, why aren't we seeing pictures of it? Why aren't we seeing video footage of it? Because it doesn't happen. That's why. The sick craze swept across Britain in 2016, with the first person in British legal history prosecuted for scaring kids last October. Huh? Jobless Connor Jones, then 18, was handed a £90 fixed penalty notice for scaring children outside a school in Caerphilly, South Wales. Hang on a second. But was he dressed as a clown? That is Connor Jones. Caerphilly. Scaring kids. Was he dressed as a clown? Oh, no, hang on, here we go. Oh, I'm wrong. It turns out there is a sick epidemic that's sweeping this country. A teenager caught up in the killer clown craze, killer crowns, has been fined £90 after he scared children at a Welsh school. Hang on, it's... oh, no, it does say £90. The jobless 18-year-old Connor Jones is one of the first to be charged and punished as the usual... OK, right, fine. Well, OK, there has been one instance of this happening. So I take back everything I've said. Lock your kids up. There are killer clowns out there. They will be terrified. That nowhere is safe. I saw the best thing today. I went to get my hair cut, and it's quite a trendy, sweary barbers. They quite often play loud rap music. It's white kids working there, of course. Loud rap music that very, very often the songs will have F-bombs in there. I've even heard the C-bomb. There was a few S-bombs in there today. But that didn't stop one mum bringing her 8-year-old son in for a trendy haircut. And as they were waiting to get their haircut, he said to his mum, "Is Halloween on a school day this year?" And she went, "Yeah, it's on a Tuesday." And you've never seen anyone sink so low. Oh, no. Oh, no. And then there was a posh kid came in with his dad, he was also 8. And he was getting his hair cut by one of the young gentlemen. And one of the young gentlemen was talking to him about school. And it transpired that this young lad was so posh, he was going to be going to Eton. And the guy was saying, "So what are your favourite subjects at school?" And the kid said, "Latin," right? And so the hairdresser went, "All right then, so can you speak fluent Latin then?" "Sorry, what?" "Yeah, can you speak fluent Latin then? Have you ever been to South America?" Now, that's what he said. That's what he said. And there, in that simple exchange between the serving class of the hairdresser and the entitled class of an 8-year-old millionaire's son, that sums up Britain post-Brexit for me perfectly, in a nutshell. It's them and us, guys, them and us. It's the rich 8-year-olds versus everybody else in the world. Are you ready for that? Days later, a student dressed as a killer clown was arrested on Brunel University campus in Uxbridge, London, for wielding a chainsaw. Kenny Ojuderi, a 19-year-old first-year student, was detained by police after YouTube footage of the sick prank on. No, because that was him. I remember that case. They were making a movie, weren't they? I think they were making a movie. That's what was going on then. Burger King have been contacted for a comment. Oh, that's great. That's great news. Well, that's great news for everybody. So, it turns out that there is a killer clown epidemic, and we're all doomed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'm going to turn Skype on in a minute, Add Late Night Alternative. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio with Time to Change.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation. Make contact with Iain Lee. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Can I ask you a question, dear listener? I'll ask you that after midnight. I've got a question about cats. My cat, who is very old, I had to take her to the vets again today. She's fine. I mean, she's on these pills, and they don't actually seem to be doing anything. They're costing me £100 every month, but they don't actually seem to be doing anything. But I have a question about cats that we will ponder after midnight. I think that's what we'll do. 0344 499 1000. If you're going to call in, make it a good one, please, tonight. Just make it a good one, because I'm not in the mood for rubbish ones. I think maybe we've lowered our... where's this thing I'm looking for? Oh, I'm talking... at page 37. I think we've lowered our standards a little bit. So, come on, guys. If you want to call, make it a good one. Otherwise, we'll just crack on. Sans le téléphone. Here's a dumb thing. Up and away. Britain soars... Briton soars to 8,000 feet on a camp chair tied to 100 balloons. Oh, yeah. This is great. This is great. It may look like a scene from a children's adventure film or a bizarre dream. Imagine if that was your... They consider that to be a bizarre dream? That's like a vanilla dream to me. A bizarre dream. Geez, you don't even want to know. But dangling on a cheap camping... I'm going to show the periscopers. There's a picture of the dude. He's doing it. He's doing it. But dangling on a cheap camping chair and suspended by 100 helium-filled balloons, this is a real-life adventurer. Tom Morgan, 38, drifted nearly 16 miles through the skies over South Africa and reached 8,000 feet after spending 2 days filling the balloons with gas. He had previously attempted the stunt 3 times in Botswana, before finally succeeding in good weather north of Johannesburg, using the last of his helium supply. But he's a South African? No, he's a Briton. I said that earlier. The father of 2, from Brazil, described the flight as peaceful and terrifying in equal measure. Was he would he be strapped in? You'd have to be strapped in, wouldn't you? There would have to be a strap, because if it tipped forward, would there? I don't know. He said the problem was finding good weather, and it was difficult to protect the balloons as they kept bursting. It was completely silent. Now, that's the thing I noticed when I went up in a hot air balloon. It was silent. It was it's just the strangest thing, and it's the smoothest takeoff. It's the smoothest takeoff, and it is silent, absolutely silent. It was completely silent, and the view was amazing. The whole thing was magical, but I don't think it would be a commercial success. The balloons had been filled with helium. Why can't I read tonight? Like an old drunk. The balloons had been filled with helium in a warehouse and stored overnight before being tied together and weighed down with canisters of the gas. The 2.5-hour flight took Mr. Morgan close to Johannesburg Airport. He added, "I didn't know what height the balloons would burst or what the sun would do to them. At 8,000 feet, they started accelerating into the flight path. To get down, he had to keep my cool and start gradually cutting the balloons. Then there's some sciencey bit. Here we go. Mr. Morgan and his wife Jenny, 37, run an adventure company called the Adventurists, which organises trips to races and summits. Let's see what he's done there. He's sucked me into his little world of free advertising. That's what he's done there. That's what he's done, Chuck.
Howdy, cowboy.
Howdy, Chuck. How's things going?
Well, not I'm still on the run.
Okay, that's good to know. Remind me why you're on the run again?
Well, that's why I rang up, cowboy. I originally thought it was the FBI.
Yeah, it's difficult to hear you because you sound like you're at the bottom of a tin can.
Yeah, I got the voice scrambler on.
The voice scrambler, okay. Are you just holding up like a pot or something? So you're holding up a saucepan, aren't you?
No, it's a high-tech voice. I'm surprised you can tell it's me, actually.
Okay, well, it's only because it says so on the screen.
Very good.
Yep.
Turns out it's not the FBI after all.
What? Who?
It's North Korea.
Sorry?
It's North Korea.
North Korea's what?
They're following me.
Following you for why?
Because I've been talking about their goings-on.
Oh, yeah, and what, do you think their leader is upset with you?
Kim Yum-Yum?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's how the cowboy, John, well, I think it's almost definitely going to be him or something, I guess.
Okay. Well, so what can we do to help?
Well, I'm just ringing in to keep you up to date. They've been releasing more propaganda by the bucket load, John Lee.
Okay, listen, I feel partly responsible for this, Chuck. Would you let me help you sort this out?
What are you thinking about doing?
I'm thinking that if we just phone up Korea,
yeah,
and if you just explain to them what's going on, that they might call the feds off.
I mean, it might work. I mean, you can give it a try.
Let's give it a go. I'm phoning up. I'm calling Korea now. You speak to them and just put forward your case.
I actually speak to them.
Thank you for calling Miss Korea.
Hi, is that Korea?
Pardon me?
Hi, the cowboy. Is that Korea?
Oh,
yeah,
I can't understand what you're saying.
Sorry, yeah, I speak. Hi, the cowboy. Is that Korea? What's your name?
This is Miss Korea Barbecue.
Miss Korea, were you, did you win the competition or something?
Oh, I cannot understand what you're saying, so, yeah.
I speak very slowly, sorry. I'm just wanting to say that I'm trying to. I know a lot of you guys have been following me all around here in Jiggery Pokery, and I'm just thinking if they can call it off.
Oh, sorry, I really can't understand anything.
I'll speak even slower. Howdy, cowboy. Is it about a problem with the accent, do you reckon?
Yeah, the accent is fine.
So I just want you to tell old Kim Yum-Yum up there if he could call his boys back in the barracks and hold him back when we have a champagne and all that.
Sorry, are you ordering something to go, or you have a complaint, or you making a reservation? Is it any of those three?
Is Kim Yum-Yum won't have his boys be following me around. I can't even have a toe. No.
Yeah, because even the phone connection isn't really good, but I'm not a native English speaker, so I can't really understand your accent. I'm sorry.
Not a problem. You just tell your big man over there to just keep it away from me, and we'll be fine.
Okay, Chuck. Well, I think that's that sorted then.
Holy Jack-a-mole, I'm out of undercover.
Well done. I think we got somewhere with that. I think we might have got somewhere with that. 0344 499 1000. You can Skype Late Night Alternative. It's up and it's running, guys. no, it's a bit. All the stories in the papers are they're quite heavy at the moment. They're quite. I'm just trying to find something that's not so heavy. What's this? Hang on. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. I don't know if it is. I've just read the. Some people are unfairly saying that young lady spoke better English than Chuck Winkle. Well, that is. That's unfair. Scotland's most famous deer is from Slough. WTF? And I only just found out what the F stands for yesterday. The stag in the classic Monarch of the Glen oil painting is used to advertise a string of Scottish products. The National Galleries of Scotland bought the 1851 canvas for £4 million last year. £4 million. And is taking it on tour. Wow, live in concert. It's a picture of a stag. But it has emerged the animal may have been observed by painter Sir Edwin Landseer at Stoke Park, stately home near Slough. Yeah, what a state it's in as well. I know Stoke Park. If you want to go dogging or score some brown, that's where you need to go. By brown, I mean heroin. I wasn't a reference to anything else. That's the place to go. Stoke Park. Yeah, Stoke Park after dark, guys. Anyone fancy a fight? Let's go to Stoke Park. Stoke Park, now a 5-star hotel? What the hell? Oh, no, in that case, I'm thinking of another park. In that case, this Stoke Park is a wonderful, wonderful place. There's nothing dodgy or illegal that goes on there, and I recommend everybody that can afford it goes there. And even if you can't afford it, put it on the credit card, guys. Come on, it's Christmas. Treat yourself. You deserve it. You deserve it. Stoke Park, now a 5-star hotel, states on its website, Sir Edwin painted many pictures of the herd of deer in the park, including the famous Monarch of the Glen. Its head of communication, Nick Downey, added, our information comes from the history books, so it must be true then. The National Galleries of Scotland yesterday admitted that the area where the stag was studied had not been definitively identified. Who cares? Really? But the Sun have their say on page 10. Let's go to the Sun says and see what else. Here we go. This is what the Sun says about Slough. Bear in mind I live in Slough, right? Come friendly bombs and fall on Slough. It isn't fit for humans now. So wrote one of Britain's best ever poets, John Betjeman. I remember once when I was doing stand-up comedy having an argument with a gentleman who said that it was Ted Hughes. I was going, no, it was Betjeman. It was Ted Hughes. It was Betjeman. Yet the town is well and truly on the up. A recent study said it was the best place to live and work in the UK. You're having a laugh. Is it? Bleep. The best place to live and work in the UK is Slough? Come on, guys. Get a grip. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Go online, search Time to Change to find out more, and we will be talking more about this with our friends from Time to Change after 11 o'clock.
Talk Radio.
03444991000 is the phone number. We're going to change things ever so slightly for the next hour, as we've been doing the last couple of weeks, and we'll do this week and next week, as we talk a bit more about Time to Change, about mental health, and, the next hour is just to check in and let us know how you're feeling, all right?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with fire up. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I'd take die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teagues, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
Welcome to the Time to Change Hour on Talk Radio. We did this the last couple of weeks. We're doing this week, and then we're doing it next week. And, you know, you all seem to be chipping in and stuff. So this is where we kind of sit and you know how this works anyway, right? You can phone in any time and talk about how your head's feeling or how your soul is feeling. And it doesn't have to be just because we're doing this Time to Change Hour every week. You can do it whenever you want, right? But if you want to do it now, it'll be an excellent time. 0344 499 1000. For the next hour or so, we're going to be talking about mental health because, of course, it's something that we should all talk about. We'll be discussing the highs, the lows, and how having someone in your corner to talk about the challenges you are facing or just meeting up to go for a run or a coffee can make all the difference. Here's the thing. I don't get the running thing. I don't get it. And I know it works for a lot of people in terms of, like, depression and stuff. It works for Matt Haig. It worked for my mate Dave. It worked for a lot of people. I don't get it. I do not. All the running does is just make me want to be sick. Oh, yeah, but you've got to build up your tolerance. Why? And I've tried that Couch to 5K, those apps. It doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. So if running works for you, beautiful, then go off and run. But trust me, it don't do nothing for me. So 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number, and each week we try and get a different guest on to share their experience, their strength, their hope, maybe give us a little bit of a different way of thinking about depression and anxiety and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm thrilled this week. We got now it's Farris. Is that how I pronounce it, Farris?
Yes, it is.
Beautiful. Nice to talk to you, man. How you doing? How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. About a 7 out of 10.
Oh, 7 out of 10. That's not bad going.
Absolutely, it's fantastic.
That would be good. How low does it get at the worst? What's the lowest it's been?
In history, probably a 2. That's pretty dark.
Listen, because when the reason we're chatting, Farris, is I want a little bit of the war story, if I'm honest. But this is, is to kind of celebrate the fact that these things pass if you're patient enough, and we come out the other end. But when you're at a 2, what's that like for you? Are you one of those you're just lying in bed in the dark and you can't move? Or what's kind of your 2 setting? What happens?
Well, I'm a pretty quiet person, so my biggest anxiety is being a bother. So the lower I feel, the bigger of the bother I feel myself. So I tend to retreat further and further. So you're not far off the mark. So I tend to almost create like a cave-like setting for myself where I tend to wallow. But the older I've gotten, the more I've realized that suffering those 2s have made me really appreciate the 7s, the 8s, the 9s, and 10s. Because I've been in a 2. I know what it's like to climb back up to an 8.
Yeah. And are you well enough now, and I've only got this recently, right, are you well enough now that when you're at a 2, 3 or 4, to know that this 2 shall pass, that there's that this isn't that isn't forever?
Yes, but at the same time, you always get this lingering feeling on your chest. You think, okay, I know this has happened before, but there's no guarantee it'll pass. Yet every single time I've been through it, it has passed.
Yeah.
And the proof of that, I'm still here. So it seems difficult while it's happening, but I always hold on to hope. There's always people around around me reminding me that there's a reason to do it.
Now, I know a little bit. I've got your bioc here. I know everything about you, but I'm trying to. Yeah, I know exactly. I know you're originally from Sudan, but you're. How long you been in this country for?
Just close to 15 years now.
Okay, because your accent is flying all over the place, and I can't quite work out where you've been in Britain.
The way it is worked out is Arabic is my first language, and the way I learned English was through watching TV with the subtitles on. So I'd watch The Simpsons, The Golden Girls, I'd watch Father Ted.
Shut up, man. Are you... hang on a minute, Farris. Are you telling me you learned English through watching The Golden Girls?
Yes.
Wow, that is incredible. That is incredible.
My options were limited at the time. It wasn't through choice.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a great show, The Golden Girls, but I never thought it could be educational. It's a brilliant show, you know.
Yeah.
So all right, go. Yeah. Okay. But then you've been over here. So where have you lived over here? Because your accent, you're going all around the country with it a little bit.
Yeah, I think it confused a lot of people. Well, when I first came here, I lived in a kids' home up in New Brighton, only for a short while. But most of my life has been in Liverpool, and I can do a Scouse accent if I need to. My default accent is this.
Well, there's hints of Scouse in there. I'm getting little bits, and there's also hints of Betty White, one of the actresses from The Golden Girls, as well. So you're doing good.
All-time hero.
So you came over. Now listen, I don't know much about Sudan, and I probably should. I'm guessing it's not a particularly fun place to be a young lad.
No, it's a bit messy because it's split into two countries recently. But before that, we had up to 6 years of civil war, both at the north and the south end of the country. And where I grew up, things got extremely messy, and I ended up losing a lot of family members. And coming here as an asylum seeker when I was 14, turning 15.
Yeah.
So I was passed through the care system and ended up finding my way through.
How did you get here? Because we have this thing, Farris. I don't know if you've noticed. A lot of people in this country don't like asylum seekers. They think they're over here just to get free flats and use our NHS. I'm not one of those people, so don't panic. So, but how did you get over here? And because I know that you lost your parents, and you have my deepest sympathies for that. Even all these years later, it must still be horrific. So how did you go from losing your parents to finding yourself in Britain? What is that journey like?
It was a bit messy, to be honest with you, because I had to take a boat over, and it was quite a long journey because I wasn't sure where I was going. I mean, first I was in America, to be honest with you, and it's the definition of solitude, because in most throwaway cases, when you're illegally in a boat, some boats will choose the option of throwing someone overboard if it becomes too much of a hassle through paperwork or through immigration. So the safest option is to keep people out of sight for as long as possible. And from there on, I was picked up by the police not far from Water Street in Liverpool and processed through there. And and the other thing I found that it works the other way around. The older I got, the more horrified I was by everything. As in, like, your brain is becoming more and more capable of understanding of what happened.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a reverse journey, but then it kind of turns back around again, I hope.
Anyone would find that whole journey traumatic, as a fully grown adult, but you're doing it as a kid, knowing that your parents are dead as well. I can't even begin to imagine the fear or sadness or whatever I can't even begin to imagine what must have been going through your head.
It was a lot of crying, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I bet.
But it's what got me through, and what still gets me through, is the immense and incredible amount of support I've had from people. From the first social worker I've had to one of my carers, all of my carers in the kids home where I grew up, who some people I call grandma to this day, who I still visit. So it's the people I have around me that save me really more than anything else.
So you come over, and you how long from getting off the boat does it take for you then to kind of be part of the system? To be, I'm assuming, did you go to a care home or foster parents or what?
Well, depending on your age, because of my age, I was first, because the government was going through the phase of trying to close down kids' home and moving kids to foster family environments.
Yeah.
So they had no room, so I had to stay in a home for kids with physical problems, like violence problems in New Brighton. Now, that place was scary. The kids were extremely troubled. But no one up towards me. It's usually just anger, like due to the issues.
Yeah.
And it was a rough couple of weeks living there. And then I moved to a really nice home up in Liverpool, which is down the road from Strawberry Fields. The same road as Strawberry Fields, actually. And I grew up there for 3 years, and then I moved to foster for a year. And then I kind of found my way from there on, with a lot of help, of course.
So how was, and if, by the way, I should have said this at the start, Farris, but if I ask anything you don't want to answer, just tell me and we'll jog on. I'm good
at evading questions, too.
Good. Hey, that's a great skill, isn't it? I've got that skill.
Absolutely.
But it's very rarely I get to talk to someone who's experienced what you've experienced, and I think it's particularly fascinating because there is this whole thing of, unfortunately, swathes of this country don't like refugees, and it's heartbreaking to see it, but so it's really interesting to hear it from your side of the story. I don't think we hear it enough. The stuff you've seen and the stuff that you experience and everything, as you get older, how does that manifest itself? Were you having nightmares? Were you having panic attacks? What was going on?
I still have both.
Right.
It's a strange thing. It becomes normalized, but at the same time not, because every nightmare feels like it's there for the first time. But you kind of wake up knowing this can happen again, and you sort of brace yourself for it. And when you do wake up from it, you have a slight knowledge. At like 5 minutes after the panic, you think, okay, so I've done this before, and then you move on. Like, I still get this thing where I wake up and not know where I am, even though I've been here 15 years. So it's a strange disconnect.
And you've been diagnosed with depression, and I think we can understand perhaps why. Was that kind of a relief? Did you go to a doctor and say, "Do you know what, doctor? I feel like my head is falling apart." What happened?
I think because I lived in care, you're extremely closely monitored by the staff.
Okay.
Everything, and I was going through some issues. I was crying constantly for days, not sleeping, so I had to be monitored almost 24/7, someone by my bed, because I was just freaking out constantly. And then eventually I was passed over to child psychiatry, and I was diagnosed with PTSD and depression and anxiety. And from there on, I was kind of walked through it, because a lot of not all of them, child psychiatry unit, are extremely understanding and very genuine in introducing you to illness. So it was a very gradual thing. I remember constantly being walked across parks while being told what's going on and how to deal with it and what coping mechanisms I can use. So the support I had was quite immense.
Yeah. And part of what a thrill it is for us to be working with Time to Change on this, and I genuinely mean that. It's lovely that they've taken interest in our show. And one of the things that they're keen for us to kind of talk about is how important it is to have someone in your corner. Now, whether that is a mate, whether that is someone you sit next to at school, or it's the person who sits opposite you in the office. What kind of support network have you got?
Well, I got lucky because when I was in school and they were handing out different places to do your work experience, I landed at a guitar shop, the most popular one in the city. And from there, I picked up playing guitar. But at the same time, I made the most closest circle of friends I've had have in this country. And to this day, if I ever feel low or just I want to be around people I know, I can just walk into the shop and I feel like I'm home.
Did you say a guitar shop?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Because this is a recurring thing. Lots of people say that lots of people say it's pretty much proven that that music is very therapeutic. I mean, the simple act of listening to music, or even more so, creating music with one or two other people, that's a great way of getting out of yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, speaking of, only recently I was involved in a project for the Tate Gallery with Solar Arts, where they had refugees from different countries work together to create art. And I worked with a girl from the Congo and wrote a song with her. And the whole experience is so therapeutic, but at the same time, you see from people's choice of words and how choice of notes and everything, how it's an outlet for, be it frustration, longing for home, or relief to be here. And music is such a universal language too, so you don't even have to understand the words to know what's happening, what's being, emotions being dealt out.
And your friends, can you say to them that you're struggling emotionally?
Absolutely.
See, that's great, but not as unusual as it was sort of 10, 15 years ago. This is one of the things I've discovered, Farris, is that we are... I still think there's a long way to go, but we are so much further down the line. Here's the thing. I remember when I was a kid, growing up in the 70s and the 80s in this country, Farris, you never heard the word cancer mentioned. No one ever said cancer. It was like if you said it, you'd catch it, and they would go, oh, such and such died of the big C, or they'd whisper it or mouth it. And now, thankfully, for years we've been able to talk about cancer and cancer treatment, and you should be checking your breasts and you should be checking your testicles and all of that. We talk about it. And I think that we are part down the road with mental health like that. 10 years ago, no one really spoke about it. Now, it's becoming more acceptable to go, do you know what? I wish I was dead today, and I think it's you're not considered a freak if you come out with something like that.
Of course, because talking is almost, in most cases, part of the cure. So if I'm struggling and I'm having a bad day, and let's say you're a friend of mine,
yeah,
why? I tell myself, okay, I could be having a better time now if I can just call Iain and tell him about it. And then I think to myself, well, that's just a better option. And usually it's pride or the stereotype of male stoicism or us keeping things in to look cool. It doesn't really help in the long run, because you just think mental health issues can ruin lives, literally. So,
oh, yeah. It kills. It's a killer. That's the thing. It's a killer.
Absolutely. And once you put it out there, especially today with different celebrities, like the Prince is talking about it, Frank Bruno, different footballers coming out with it, it's becoming more and more normalized. When people see public figures, I can't remember the name, but the guy from Who Found Us Anyway, who's a huge comedian, talks about his crippling depression, and you go, disconnect there at first. Your main job is to make people learn to laugh.
Do you mean Stephen Fry?
Not Stephen Fry. It was an American comedian. They do like a charades type show.
Yeah, I know the show. Not Greg Proops.
Possibly.
We could be here all night going through all the old. I love your TV references. You've got. Do you ever watch modern TV?
Not really.
Good. It sucks.
I have a lot of outdated 90s references.
I get them. So it's a 7 to date, which is brilliant. What do you do now, Farris? What is life like for you?
I do a lot of writing, and I try to really keep on top of my mental health, because if I'm being frank, I kind of feel like I'm always on an edge.
Yeah.
Because of the gravity of my situation, and I feel like if I almost lose focus, I can fall down a deep hole. So I try to always keep myself busy, from writing to exercising to playing music to do whatever I possibly can to expand and kind of to make myself feel like less in a prison.
Have you got any family left from Sudan?
No.
Wow. Wow, that's heavy, man. How does that? This is a really impossible question, but I'm going to ask it because you're a writer, so you might be able to get something out of this. How does that feel, having no blood family?
It's a strange one because, it's weird. You see it in everything. Like, I'm watching a movie or hear a song, or you see kids going home and they sit down with their family, or your friends saying this, or in school and kids, whatever. It's a constant thing where you feel like you've missed out on a huge part of life. And what you try to come to terms with is if there's any alternative out there that can make up for it.
Mm.
So it's almost like chasing a dream. Whether it's out there or not, I'm not sure. People tell me you'll make your own family, etc., and that might be it. But for the time being, it's a lot of wishing and fantasizing of what could have been or how it would have worked out.
Hey, listen, man. Thank you so much for sharing that and being so honest with us. I've got a gift for you. Can I give you a gift?
Actually, thank you very much.
Here we go.
You didn't have to, though.
No, I'm giving you this. Hang on, here we go. If I can just get this. Oh, what a time for my computer to stop working. Hang on a second. Here we go. This is.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down.
Farris, I give you the gift of the Golden Girls theme tune. How's about that?
Made my night.
There you go. Hey, listen, man. Nice to talk to you. Thank you so much.
It's a real pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Cheers, mate. Ta-ta. There we go. There we go. There we go. This is a theme song, huh, guys?
You would see the biggest gift would be for me, and the card attached would say thank you.
He learned English from watching the Golden Girls. That to me is that's the most mind-blowing thing I've ever heard in my life. 0344. Thank you, Farris. I enjoyed that a lot, mate. Isn't it interesting to hear the refugee story from the side of the refugee? I hope that it wouldn't have given many of you pause to think, because you're quite intelligent, forward-thinking young people listening to this show. You're not the bigots that listen to the other radio station. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Just for this hour, we're going to, up until midnight, we'll just chat about, kind of how your head's doing, how your soul's doing, and anything that's loosely or directly connected with that. After midnight, we'll pick up the nonsense again. I've got a thing I want to ask you about cats after midnight, but until then, we can chat about this. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio with Time to Change.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
This is the Late Night Alternative with Time to Change on Talk Radio. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all of the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more. Yes, his phone line was a little bit pony, but I think we got everything that we need. Listen, if I could understand it, then you guys can understand it. Sometimes you've just got to work a little bit harder. Good evening, Simon.
I couldn't understand the word Chuck Winkle was saying.
No, yes, I don't know if that's his phone line or if that's his wonky jaw. We just don't know, Simon.
Perhaps it's part of his disguise. Anyway,
what?
Good evening, Iain. How are you?
Good evening, Simon. I'm struggling today. I'm struggling.
Are you, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, no, number 1 to 10.
Do you know what? Today I was kind of a 6.5. And then this evening I sunk down to about 3.
Yeah, it's that evening time, see? It
is the evening time, and I had to do some really unpleasant paperwork before the show. I had to just sort out loads of papers for some horrible thing that's going on, and I held all these papers in my hand, and I just thought, Jesus, that's my life, what a mess. So, struggling a little bit, but tomorrow I'm up early, I've got the boys, and I'm taking them into Leicester Square to see a show, and then we'll go to the Lego store, and then we'll go and get burgers, and then I'm going to bring them into work for a couple of hours before the show.
sounds like you're already on an 8 to me then, if you're looking forward to it.
There we go. You're right, and that's lifted me up a little bit. What's going on with you, man?
I want to talk, if I can, briefly about, if it helps someone, I don't know, anxiety-induced tinnitus.
Oh, go on.
I, about 5-6 years ago, laid in bed, and all of a sudden I heard a noise in my ear, and it scared the living crap out of me.
Yeah.
And it basically, that's how it started. I mean, I have it. I spent, because as I said, you know, depression, the depressed mind, the anxious mind is always searching for the answer.
Yeah.
And for the first time with my illness, I actually had a suicidal thought go through my mind, because it was a case of, if I can't get rid of this noise, then that's going to be an option.
Oh, tinnitus is... Now, I've got tinnitus, and I've sort of made my peace with it, and it's because I wear headphones and I have them too loud, but people have killed themselves because of tinnitus. Because
it's terrible.
So, is it in both ears?
No, it's in my head.
Oh, okay.
Now, I went on, again, like I said about the depression and that, I went on a journey of discovery. First of all, I was trying to fight it.
Yeah.
I spent ages trying to fight it. I did the research, read the books. Incidentally, the British Tinnitus Association, they are brilliant.
Yeah.
They are a charity that never gets mentioned, and they should be. Because they helped a lot. You know, although they're only at the end of a phone, they've got some of the answers that you want. But ultimately, you know, the thing is that unlike tinnitus that you get from damaging your hearing or banging your head, anxiety-induced tinnitus does actually get better. Now,
so how did you discover that it wasn't ear damage tinnitus? I don't think I've heard of anxiety-induced tinnitus. I get it, and I know that other conditions can be brought on by anxiety. So I'm totally buying into this. But when did you get when did you work out that it was anxiety that was causing it?
Well, you see, the thing is, this is going to sound weird. Have you ever heard? You must have heard the saying, "The sound of silence."
Yeah. Oh, yes. Well, I've heard the song. Yes. Yes, and I'm aware of the saying. Yes.
Yeah, it's terrible. You get that in your ear one morning, and you never get rid of Art Garfunkel.
Oh, man alive! Imagine Art Garfunkel burrowing away in your ear, dirty little monkey, dirty little bald waistcoat wearing monkey.
Oh dear, no, thanks. But anyway, so silence does have a sound. Now, because the depressed mind is constantly searching for the answer, you become aware, or you know, you may not necessarily, and I hope that this doesn't bring it on to some of your listeners.
Go on, unleash the tinnitus on them.
Yeah, I don't want to be the cause of it, but that's all it was for me. It just, I became aware of a sound by sleeping in a quiet room or laying in a quiet room. And as far as my anxiety mind was telling me, oh my God, you've got tinnitus, that was it. As soon as that thought went through my head, I'm not able to shift it. So I went on the journey of trying to sort it out. But this is the reason I wanted to speak, is because having suffered with this now for 5, 6, 7 years, unlike damaged hearing tinnitus, it does get better. I can go for weeks on end now without hearing a thing, and then all of a sudden I might get a day and it's like having someone putting nails down a blackboard in my ear or in my head, you know? It's like, the worst thing to do is to think it's gone, because when you think it's gone, it always comes back. But it's like everything with mental health. You just have to just give yourself time, and time sorts it out. Time makes it better. And you know, there is no solution. I've tried different medications, bits and pieces. None of that will work. And the worst thing that anyone can say to you is, tinnitus, you've got that for life. That's permanent. And if I'm honest, talking to you now, I can hear in my head, I've got a little hissing sound in my head.
Oh, that's the thing. When you start talking about it, you become aware of it again.
Yeah. You know, and that might be with me now for the next 2 or 3 days. But do you know what? It doesn't worry me because I know, having had those long periods of nothing, I know that tomorrow might not be there. Tomorrow might not be there the day after.
Where's the anxiety? Where's the anxiety coming from? Is it coming from an event? Is it coming from a lifestyle, or is it just one of those things that just pops up with no explanation?
I had, I don't know whether I explained to you last time, but I had a fit when I used to be a coach driver.
Yeah.
And I did a trip abroad, and I basically did it all wrong. I did an overnight drive, 20 hours, no sleep, up into altitude, drank nothing but coffee, didn't eat anything. I ended up collapsing when I got there.
Hey.
And it ended up with 3 days in an Austrian hospital. And it was that brought it on, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it didn't actually bite me on the bum there and then, because back there and then I was ready to fight another day, okay, just want to get back behind the wheel. I love my job, But I had a period of unemployment because I lost my licence as a result of the collapse.
Yeah.
Whilst I was being investigated, and that then allowed the demons to creep in and gave them a voice because I had too much time on my hands.
Can I ask you a question?
You got
right, did you? Yeah, I'm going to ask you. Okay, and if this is too personal, then tell me to jog on. Right?
Okay.
Did you ever have to drive the coach along those big sort of mountainside roads around the flipping heck, man? We once, right? We went. It wasn't. Oh God, my mind's gone blank. It wasn't the Greek island we normally go to, which I can't even remember the name of that. It was the one where they filmed. It was Kos, where they filmed Captain Corelli's Mandolin. But right, and we hired a car, and we were driving. We had to get from the port side to the other side where the hotel was, and we had to drive around these sort of roads around the. Gee, and this was in a tiny hire car, and I couldn't look, and my wife did all the driving, and she was scared, so she was inching round. And we were getting overtaken by massive petrol tankers and stuff. How the flipping hell do you drive a coach around that stuff?
I've been up and down mountain roads made of ice with 50 school children on board with a 1,000-foot drop by the side of me.
Bloody hell! No wonder you're nuts!
And I'll tell you something.
Yeah?
Regarding overnight driving, as a coach driver, I wouldn't actually go. This is going to sound terrible, but knowing how easy it is to nod off, I wouldn't actually go on an overnight coach trip as a passenger.
Blimey, and that's coming from one of the drivers.
I think the laws need to be changed because, believe me, nodding off is just so easy. I mean, roads like the mountain roads, they keep you awake because you're alert, because you're concentrating. But when you're going down the motorway at night, it's no wonder there's these bad accidents, I tell you. Really worries me.
I've got a solution for what they could have done on the Italian job.
You could have blown the bloody doors off.
Yeah, exactly. But at the end, when the gold's hanging over the edge, and you're thinking, well, what are they going to do here? Surely, what they needed to do was that if the lightest one of them lay on the floor and if they went out and found like a big stick, right, all they've got to do is get like 1 bar of gold, 2 bars of gold back, and then the equilibrium will sustain itself again. So you just need like a big hooked stick or like a fishing net or something just to get 1 bar of gold back.
Yeah, but does that not invite the concept of a lowbrow movie?
Ooh, controversial words, Simon! Controversial!
Hey, at least you know I listen anyway.
Thank you, mate. Nice to talk to you, fella. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, mate.
Cheers.
Bye,
Ta-ta. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Go online and search Time to Change to find out more.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We're trending on Periscope, guys, and I think that's maybe because I'm doing slightly click-baity titles. You can watch the show on Periscope, periscope.tv/Iain Lee. After midnight, we'll take calls straight to air. Kath will come in the studio, and I've got a question about cats. That's all after midnight. Until then, though, this is the Late Night Alternative, and it's the time to change hour on Talk Radio. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We call you back. Good evening, Rob.
Oh, hello.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to get through.
Well, you must have been expecting it slightly as you called in. It can't have been a complete 100% shock.
Yeah, no, well, okay, it's not that much of a shock.
Oh, okay. Let's enough of the hyperbole. Okay. Which is a word I love saying. It's too much hyperbole.
Good word.
It's a good word. I'm not 100% sure what it means. But what have you got for us, Rob?
It was just in relation to what the gentleman was saying before about his tinnitus.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've suffered from for about 15 years now, on and off.
The anxiety tinnitus?
Yes.
This is interesting because I've not heard of this before, and it's fascinating. So when did you first notice it?
When I was about 15.
The fun age to start realising your body ain't as perfect as you thought it was.
Yeah, it's all downhill from 15.
It's terrible, isn't it? So what was it? What happened? How did it? Was there a trigger, or what was the deal?
Definitely a trigger for me. My friend passed away around about the same age. Well, she was a year older than me, but she passed away suddenly. And then my granddad passed away the same year as well. But I kind of decided to kind of stay in hospital with him while he was suffering. And I think that had an effect on me.
Why did you make that choice?
I think I kind of wanted to kind of be there while he was unwell and kind of make sure that he was okay. But because I saw that deterioration, it sort of had that effect on me and stuck with me.
It's a big thing to see at any age, but particularly at 15. Watching someone die is that must be especially grim.
Yeah, and I think from that, it sounds weird, but I think because I became more kind of quite fearful of like health issues, and things like that, almost kind of aware of like my own mortality. And from that, I think anxiety kind of reared its ugly head. And then one of the symptoms of that was that tinnitus sound that I'd get if I was really overstressed or anxious. And it comes back, it still comes and goes, depends on what my mood is.
Can you this is a really impossible question, but I like to throw the impossible questions to people who I think can handle them. Can you describe the noise? Because I know my tinnitus is different in both my ears. Let me have a go first. In my right ear, it's quite a high-pitched, sort of computery type noise, and the left ear, it's slightly lower, and it's crunchier and more metallic sounding. What's your tinnitus like, Rob?
It's more of like a sort of a high pitch, just constant, like, do you know, like the static on a television when you kind of mute it, and you can hear that kind of...
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like white noise.
When you mute it and you can hear it.
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
and it's really weird because when I do get it as well, it sounds like some sort of like rubbish superpower. But if I'm like in a bank or something like that and there's a CCTV monitor on, I can scope that monitor out.
Oh, man,
know where it's...
if there's only we could find some way to monetize that skill, Rob, we'd be quids in.
What a world we'd live in, eh?
So how do you cope with it? Does meditation help? Like some people said earlier, I'm running. What are have you got any tricks up your sleeve?
I think keeping busy and keeping your mind off it.
Yeah.
Helps quite a lot. I mean, I swim, which helps. And I know you were saying that you hate running, which I can totally agree with.
Oh, man alive. What, I don't get it. When I was a kid, I was a sprinter, and I used to hate long-distance running. But when you're 44, there's no point in saying, I'm just going to go out for a 400-metre dash. There's no point in doing it. If you're going to go out, you've got to go and run for a distance. I just can't do it.
I just look like Mr. Ben, so I just don't bother.
Running is a terrible, terrible thing. So you go swimming.
Yeah.
Do you?
That helps with. That just tends to help with my anxiety as well, because I think sometimes you have all that nervous energy, and doing something where you kind of knacker yourself out, it does kind of take some of that nervous energy away. But I mean, it doesn't cure it or anything like that. It's just kind of like a quick fix in a way.
Can you can you be in a silent room? Like when you go to bed, do you have to have like the radio on or something?
The thing is, mine only flares up depending on what my mood is. So, for example, I had a death in the family a couple of weeks ago, and it flared up.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's like, even though that I know that it does go away when my mood's better, it's like I convince myself that this is going to be forever, even though I know that it has gone in the past. And it's sort of like a dangerous cycle.
The brain is nuts, isn't it? It's honestly, it's the weirdest piece of machinery around.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a big goldfish ball full of marbles just been shaken about.
Yeah, well, that's that sorted then. I'm glad we fixed our ideas on brains. How's everything going at the moment? You're right. You obviously you've had a death in the family, which is thoroughly unpleasant. But I mean, are you kind of keeping on an even keel?
At the moment, I was working at temp at a job, but that's come to an end now. So at the moment, I'm looking for work. So it's not great. And obviously, because I'm home quite a lot, sort of just applying for things. You know, your mind does play tricks on you. So I think, it's not great.
Well, listen, man. I hope things that pick up. You know, I hope things kind of start going your way again, Robin. Thank you for sharing that, man.
Oh, thanks, Ian.
Cheers, man. Take care. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. He sounded properly thrilled at the end. That was nice, wasn't it? 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. After midnight, we'll take calls straight to air. We'll invite Catherine back into the studio, and I have a question about cats. I have a very, very big question about cats. But in the meantime, 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We've got 5 minutes or so left for the time to change hour. And genuinely, what a thrill that they have chosen to work with us and with this show. And we get to talk about this. We talk about this stuff anyway. I think that we have got this show to a place where we don't need to do that. Hey, this is now a themed hour. We're going to talk about you guys know you can call in whenever you want and just check in and say how you're feeling good or you're feeling sad. You can do that stuff. But it is quite nice doing it for these. I think it's 4 weeks we're doing it. So we've got this week and next week. This kind of focused hour where we can talk about it and because I know some of you, and I understand this. I get this. Some of you feel a little bit, embarrassed is the wrong word. You don't want to ruin the flow of the show when we're careering down a mountainside in a car full of giggles. You know what I mean? And, we're talking about which is the best B-side in the world, and if you had to punch one of your family members in the face, which one would it be? And you think, well, I don't want to phone in and tell him that today I was considering, cutting myself. But you can do, because clunky gear changes, for me, is where it's at. That is what life is. It's not, when you go out with your mates for lunch or for a coffee or something, you don't do that thing of you get there at midday and say, right, well, for the first hour, I thought we could talk about Brexit. And then I thought for the second hour, we could all maybe get each other's views on Donald Trump. And then you talk about, you saw a funny thing as you were coming in. You saw a bloke on the bus who wasn't wearing any socks. And I wasn't wearing socks today when I went out, by the way. I went out to the vets, didn't have socks on, didn't brush my teeth either. Didn't brush my teeth because I kind of got up late and so I had horrible manky teeth. And I had to take the cat to the vet. And I was thinking, right, mustn't smile at the vet. I mustn't smile at the vet because she'll see my dirty, horrible teeth, and and then she might glimpse down and see I've got no socks on, and then it's just a sad bloke with a cat. It's just a sad cat man. And I got away with it until right at the end, and I did a big smile and said, thanks very much. And I smiled, and I just thought, oh, geez, she's gonna think the worst of me, and rightfully so. But at those prices, they should treat us like kings. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. When you go out with your mates, you just talk about stuff, and at some point, someone will go, anyway, Steve, how are you doing? Are you all right? Because you're having a bit of trouble the other week. Is that going? Is that all right? Is that, and if they're good mates, you will sit down with them and you'll be able to tell them. So that's what this show is we have the clunky gear changes, and we talk about the serious stuff, and we talk about the frothy stuff, and we talk about cats as well. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I suspect we're not going to get any more calls in this hour, which is fine. Catherine, would you like to slowly meander in, gather your things, take your time, wander into the studio, come and join me, and we'll chat for the next 3 minutes about... Oh, I don't know. Oh, I know what we'll talk about, because the whole point of this is having a mate in your corner and a friend. And quite often, you are the one, Katarina Boyle,
yes,
that gets the text from me saying, oh, I feel terrible, I can't come into work today. And I was a bit mean to you earlier on in the show, and I'm sorry about that, because I'm in a crappy mood, so I was a little bit snappy in the first hour, and that was rude of me, and I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Well, no, but it was rude of me. So I'm sorry about that.
I appreciate you recognising it.
Yes, that's progress.
Yeah.
But still, it was a bit of a shitty thing for me to do, and I shouldn't have done it.
No, but I'd rather you called it and said, right, I'm in a mood, leave me alone.
Yes.
Because I knew, and I thought, we're going to end up falling out. Cause
yes.
I know that it doesn't come from a place of meanness, but it hurts still.
Well, not always from a place of meanness.
Generally.
Well, quite often.
No, it doesn't, though.
I tell you, it was good, because I was feeling stressed last night, and when we were in Luton, I got an email from someone who I had slighted completely by accident, and he was justifiably disappointed with something I hadn't done, right? And it kind of sent me into a tailspin, and I managed to sort it. I apologised profusely, and I made good on my mistake, and it was my mistake, and I let someone down, and but it sent me into a tailspin. But we were talking about Farris, about music. Man alive, that concert last night was spiritual, wasn't it?
There are about 4 or 5 times where I've just got a wave of, oh my God, I'm so lucky to be here.
Yeah.
Or, when music just goes right through you, but it goes through your chest.
Yeah.
Just took my breath away. And then you get the thing of, I'm so lucky to have come. And I had that a few times last night.
Goosebump. I had about
so
8
good.
or 9 goosebump moments. Stephen Page, honestly, if you get a chance to go and see him, even if you're not, bare naked ladies, he doesn't sing one week, and he doesn't sing If I Had $1 Million, but he does sing a lot of B&L songs, more than I was expecting.
The thing is, though, as well, the harmonies.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Some band.
It's magic, and there's only 3 blokes.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
If you just like good live music, go and see it, because they're funny. It's a really funny show. And just the bit where he was wandering around singing without a microphone. Flipping heck. That was good for the soul.
The other beautiful thing about it is they're clearly proper mates, and they were having the time of their lives, and that's contagious.
And more exciting news, Bare Naked Ladies have got a new album coming out. Someone sent me a copy. Ooh. Sorry, what? I was sworn to secrecy. I couldn't help but drop that in. I'll tell you what we're going to do after midnight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take calls straight to air for an hour. How's about that, then? And you can call in about anything you want, heavy, light, stupid, dumb, whatever. It's simple as that. Don't call now. I'll give you the number after 12. That will be the best time to give us a call. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, her Catherine Boyle on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us is going to fight a mental health problem this year. If you haven't had one yet, there's not much left of the year. Keep your fingers crossed, you might get away with it. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Go online and search Time to Change to find out more.
Talk Radio.
Okie dokie, we'll take calls. I can see people calling in. Wait, if your number ends 3706, wait, we'll come to you in a bit, for goodness sakes. We'll do calls straight to air after the latest news on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
He has made a covenant with the night, and with the darkness he is in agreement.
Uncut, after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 03444991000. We've got 3 calls left over from the previous hour. Jonathan, Mark and Garry, stay there. Before that, though, line 1, you're on the wireless. Yes? Hello? You've been calling in for the last 7 minutes.
Oh, hello there. Oh, yeah, I'm trying... Is Iain Lee there?
Yes, he is.
Oh, hello there. Is that Iain?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hello, Iain. Sorry, I phoned you just off your chance.
Yes.
I've just come to bed and making sure you're around, because last night... I don't listen to you too long.
Yeah.
But last night, who was on?
I don't know. It wasn't me. I was at a concert in Luton.
Oh, okay. But you can be around for me to listen to you tonight.
I'm around for you to listen to me tonight. Yes, I'm here for as long as I can think. In fact, I'm only taking 2 days off over Christmas Day and Boxing Day. I'm here. I'm here, baby. I ain't never saying that. I might be booking. I am going to book a week off in a few weeks to finish writing my book. But apart from that, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm a bit sure to get through to be fair.
Well,
to be fair, I do really enjoy your show.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Mark. Good evening, Mark.
Oh, hello, good evening. You're okay?
I'm okay. You're okay?
Are you okay? You know what I was saying? I was looking at something on YouTube. Wasn't thinking that. I thought it was going... Anyway, I'll start again. Yes, how are you?
I'm okay. You're okay?
Yeah, no, I got the flu. I caught the flu.
That's a shame.
Yeah, no, it is, because I called last week to give you the cure for the flu, and now I've caught it.
How's your cure working?
I've only just got it tonight, the flu, so I've not even started the cure yet.
What was your cure for the flu?
You fast for 3 days.
Sorry?
You fast. You just live on liquids for 3 days, and it knocks the granny out.
Hang on a minute. I don't believe that for a second.
What?
What you've just said.
What?
What you've just said, I don't believe.
What, you don't believe it works?
Yes.
Well, it's not that it works. It just.
Right, so it doesn't work.
Well, no, it just reduces it, because if you eat, it just makes it worse. And I found when I got it before, I fasted for 3 days, and it just gave you a feeling of getting on top of it. It's still there, but it just made me feel a bit better.
Okie dokie. So your fast starts now.
Well, I'm going to get through the night, see what happens in the morning. If it's still there, I'll go for a few days. And
3 days. You've got to go for 3 days.
Three days fasting. I wanted to ask, because I know you would know, because you're an educated man. What would happen if you went down to Dover and got on the back of a lorry and sneaked yourself into France, and then when you got to the other side, claimed asylum in France? What would happen?
Well, they would probably send me back.
Why?
Well, because they would be able to prove quite quickly that my claim for asylum was false. What with me being a British citizen and a middling radio presenter.
Well, but if the because all these people that are coming from Calais, like a friend of mine, like for the last 15 years, he drives a lorry, and every time he gets to Calais, he has a nervous breakdown, because if he gets one person on the back of his lorry...
Hang on, can we... Right. If we're going to do this...
Yes.
Let's do it properly. Let's not use hyperbole.
What's that then?
Right. Exaggeration and lies.
Do you know, I thought it was hyperbole.
I know. I know.
Is it hyperbole? Is that how you pronounce it?
But let's not exaggerate and tell lies. Let's stick to the facts.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've already told a lie this evening.
About what?
You seem to have great difficulty, Mark, in remembering the thing you've just said.
What about the flu?
No, you've said something since that.
Oh yeah, going over to Calais.
Yeah. You said he has a nervous breakdown every time he goes.
Well, he does. Gets very nervous.
No. There is a difference between being nervous and having a nervous breakdown every time you go to Calais.
An exaggeration, then.
Yeah. So let's not because it's a big subject. It's an emotive subject. Let's stick to the facts.
Right.
Okay. So your friend gets nervous every time he goes to Calais.
Very nervous.
Okay. He's been going for 15 years.
Yep.
How many migrants has he found in the back of his truck?
Well, he says to me the thing he says that when he goes into the secure compound where they're supposed to be guarded, there's no one there. He says he always has to check the lorry himself.
Yeah, of course. How many migrants has he found hiding in his truck?
I think over the years, quite a few.
How many?
Well, he says quite a few, so I don't know what that is.
So you never said. You never said, "Oh, how many is that?" You never questioned the quite a few.
Well, he's just amazed that when he goes into a secure compound and he's told your lorry is safe, that when he checks it himself, because he's got his own tracks in it, he can't afford. He hasn't got a company who will pay for him if he's got someone on the back of the lorry, that it wipes out his profit. So he has to check himself, and he says there's always someone on there, which makes him very nervous because he's a self-employed man.
Right. And how many profits has he lost?
Over the years, I don't think he's lost any. Because
Okay, hang on. Well, hang on a second.
Vigilant.
You just said if he had anybody in his truck, he'd lose his profits.
Oh, he would lose everything.
Right. So he hasn't had anybody in his truck.
No, he has. He's got them off the back of the motor.
Let's try again. You just said if he has anybody in his truck, he loses his profits.
Well, he gets £2,000 per person.
Okay, right. But yet he's not been... So, again, can we stick to the facts and not exaggeration? You said he loses his profit. Now you're saying £2,000 per person. That's big different, right?
Well, that's what the government charges.
Okay, but I don't know that. But you've gone from saying he loses all of his profits to suddenly it's just a fine, which is big different. Big difference.
£2,000.
Well, but is that all of his profits?
Well, he's a self-employed man. He couldn't afford that. He's
No. But Mark, this is really simple. Is the £2,000 all of his profits?
I think it would wipe him out.
Okay, right. But yet, he's not had to pay that fine yet?
No, because he has to be very vigilant.
Right. So he's not found anybody in his truck?
Yeah, he's found people.
Right. Do you see the circle that we're going around in? You start by saying, if he finds anybody in his truck...
Which he does.
He has to pay £2,000?
No, in the area where he stops and checks his lorry himself,
there we go.
He's okay. If he gets to the port and there's someone on the back, they then say, right, you're smuggling them in.
So how many people has he... So how many times has he got to the port and there's been somebody in the back of his truck?
This is what he says lots of times.
Right, so he must have been fined thousands then?
No, look, there's a car park where they put you into, right, which...
Mark, you're arguing against yourself. How many times has he got to the point where if you've got people in your truck that shouldn't be there, you get fined?
Yeah, well, look, the point is no one should be in anywhere near the port because they're already in a safe country. That's the argument.
Right. How many times has he got to the bit of Calais, and I don't know the layout of Calais at all, how many times has he got to the bit of Calais where if they find people in his truck that shouldn't be there, he gets fined?
Yeah, well, I'm saying to you, he always checks before he gets to that point.
So never?
No, so he goes into the compound...
No, just answer the question. So the bit where if he's got people in his truck that shouldn't be there, that he would get fined, he's never had people in his truck at that point?
No, he has, and he's had to get...
So how much has he been fined?
Well, nothing, because he gets them off before he gets there.
Right, so... It's not just me, is it, right? It's not just me. So... He's never found anybody in his truck at the point where, if you arrive with people in the back of your truck, you get fined. He's never found anybody in his truck at that stage.
No. He has to check before he gets to that area.
So he's never got to that area with anybody in his truck before?
No, because he has to get them off.
Right. So it works?
Sorry?
Huh?
So the what?
So it works?
What works?
Well, the system. 15 years he's been driving, and he's never been fined for having someone in his truck, so he's either bent or the system works.
No, because he's saying to me, I don't know. I don't know how it works.
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do know how it works. I'm getting that from you flip-flopping all over the place.
All I'm saying is that I can't understand why. I'm saying if I got in the back of a lorry on this side and went over to Calais and claimed asylum, that those people are already in a very, very safe country where they've got a superior benefit system, superior health system.
Why are you?
Education.
Why? Let's try another tack. Why are you telling me this?
What?
That seems to be your stock response to pretty much any question.
Well, I'm not an educated man like you. You went to a good school, most probably.
when I ask you a question relating to what you've immediately said,
yes,
your response is what? It's not education. That's lack of manners.
Yeah. That's just being personal and rude and horrible now.
Well, because I'm beginning to get, and please don't take this the wrong way.
No, I always do, because I always feel like there's a class system here, and you're part
It's
of
not
it.
class. It's not class. It's intelligence, and there is a massive gap. And I'm really doing my best to come down to your level, but it's difficult.
Yeah.
I haven't been at this level since I was about 8.
Well, there we are. I was never at school.
You never went to school?
Well, I learnt to read, but most of the time I was nicking lead off roofs and making money.
You never. So you're a thief.
Well, when I was younger, yeah, I stopped doing that when I got older. And
So hang on a minute. So you're a thief, stealing lead off people's roofs, and you're off what churches, and you're committing religious crimes, and you're worried about people fleeing war. Did you hear our lad, the caller we had earlier on from Sudan?
No.
His whole family were wiped out, and he had to stow away on a boat to get here at the age of, I think it was 14, 15.
Why would you have to... There's no wars in Calais.
His whole family were killed, right? And he was a child. He was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And he had to stow away on a boat to get here.
To get here? What, you came straight on a boat to England? And not through Calais?
And you'd want him... He rocks up, right? You'd want to send him back, yeah?
I wouldn't want to do that, no. I'm talking about someone checking the back of a lorry. I don't want to send anyone back.
Oh, so if they come on boats, it's okay, but lorries, it's not okay?
No, we're not talking about sending anyone back. I'm talking about someone that's...
You are. You are talking about sending people back. That's exactly what you're talking about.
No.
Yes, it is, Mark. I'm afraid it is. And trust me, it's the intelligence thing. I know what you're talking about better than you do, because you are flip-flopping all over the place, buddy. You are talking about sending people back.
No, I'm talking about being in a safe country and then trying to come here when you're already in a safe place.
Right, okay, yeah.
So I don't want to send anyone back. In fact, the two people I met when I did go over there, a guy called Jacob and a guy called Mohammed that I met in the park.
Yeah.
The guy called Jacob, when he said to me he was from Eritrea and wanted to get here, and then I said, well, come to the park and meet Mohammed, who lives in Calais. I said, he claims asylum here, and he's got a great big grin on his face, because the French are incredible, what they give the money. And then 2 weeks later, I met him, and he said, oh, my God, you were right.
Wow, you're like a proper Kofi Annan, but here's the thing. What were you doing over there?
Smuggling tobacco.
Right. Do you know what, Mark? I'd rather have Frank and Mohammed over here than you. Let's do a swap. I reckon, let's do a swap, right? Let's send you to France to do your petty crimes and your thieving and your breaking the law and not paying tax, because that's what you're doing. You're not contributing to this society. And let's get Frank and Mohammed over here. Let's get them working and let's get them paying tax. Let's get them paying your tax, shall we, Mark? Because you're not, how dare you come on here and say what should happen in this country when you're not even contributing to it?
And that's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, Mark. Dearie me, what an unpleasant little oik. 0344 499 1000, this is Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. With time to change, 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more. We all take calls straight to our end a bit. Let's go to Garry first. Evening, Garry.
Hello.
Hello, Garry.
Yeah, we spoke earlier.
Oh, yes. You're the gentleman with no teeth, yes.
You wanted to punch me.
Sorry?
But I had depression and psychosis and all that.
Then I retract my offer of a punch, and instead I replace it with the offer of a hug.
Oh, that's fine. That's fair enough.
There we go. Go on. So what's going on with you, man?
Talking about depression, you see, lost my sister.
There's your yellow card straight away. You did this last time with the yellow card. What's your language? But go on.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Swearing again.
Yeah.
I've been playing Call of Duty. I get angry when I'm playing Call of Duty.
Well, not the new one. The new one isn't out yet, is it?
No, it's out third.
Okay, right. Well, then here's a suggestion. Maybe don't play Call of Duty if it makes you angry.
No, it does. It's like when war's coming, you need to be ready, don't you?
But why don't you play Viva Pinata or something?
I can't be after them.
Play that. Go and get a nice. Here's the thing. I ordered last week because my mate Glenn bought one and he was raving about it. I ordered a Pi Retro computer. So it's a computer and it's got about 30...
Oh, retro, yeah.
Yeah, it's got about 30,000...
Like Mario and all that.
Yeah, it's got about 30,000 games on it. Spectrum, Commodore, Atari, PS1, N64...
I love Mario, Sonic and Zelda.
Yeah, but every day I come in thinking it'll be here now and we can play it, and it's not arrived. But play some of the old games. Don't play Call of Duty.
Well, if war's coming, we need it, don't we? Just be trained.
Yes, yes, and I believe that is what the army are using now. Instead of actually sending people out to do those Krypton Factor style assault courses, they're sat there playing Call of Duty 24/7. Yeah,
Yes, they're doing it.
Yeah, yes, they're doing it. That's what made not Alan Bradley. What's his name? Who's Bravo 20? Andy Kahn? No, it's my mate. Andy McNabb. That's what Andy McNabb does these days.
Well, I play a sniper. I'm very good at it. I'm very good at the game.
But do you have it on really hard level or just the like medium?
I play hardcore.
Well, do you? And you're good at it?
No map. I'm very good at it. Yeah.
No map. Wow.
No map.
No map. Okay.
I camp myself in a building and just shoot everybody who comes into the building.
Wowzers. Oh gosh! Would you please, for the love of God, don't get too angry playing that, and think maybe it'd be a good idea.
I'm not playing that. No, I'll get angry listening to Oasis or something like that.
Oh,
I like Oasis. A bit of garbage.
So you get. They are garbage, I think. So you get angry listening to music you like.
Well, I used to throw. I've been on a 30-year drinking binge when I lost resistor. I throw a bottle of something every now and again when music gets a bit leery.
Where'd you throw the bottle, man?
Just a bit wall or something.
Oh, you don't want to be doing that.
Adrenaline buzz.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that, though. Well, supposing a bit of glass flies back in your eye. You've got no teeth. Are you saying a rapist's eye?
Very precise.
I thought he said... I pressed the dumb button then, because I thought you were saying I've got a rapist's eye.
Oh, my God.
Blood, I thought this has taken a very, very bizarre... I pressed the dumb button there. He's got what did he say?
Can I tell you a story, though?
A very precise eye. Say a very precise eye again.
Precision.
Sorry?
Precision.
Precision. Right, precision. Okay. Yeah. Get some new teeth in, man. Seriously, go and get some. If you can't afford them, get some made out of cardboard because you need something.
It's horrible.
Just your gums flapping together.
I've heard you're a nice guy, so I'll let that pass what you said earlier.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm a nice guy, really. Deep down, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy.
No worries.
All right. Nice one, Gary.
All right, then. Cheers.
Cheers. Ta-ta. Isn't it?
He's ready for war because of the computer games.
Yeah, it's coming. Hello, Line 1.
It's a pirate. Someone's killing live music.
That is illegally sourced. That is. I'm going to get that is a troll, and my legal team. And we've traced that number. And my legal team will be. I'm going to go to the police, and my legal team will be having a word with him tomorrow. Yes, Jonathan.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Jonathan.
Do Virgin still have a video game division?
I'm going to say no. I would imagine it would have got sold it would have got bought up in the 90s, wouldn't it?
Right. Are you able to contact Manfred or Rainbow Arts?
Manfred who?
Trends.
Well, why? Why?
Well, I tell you why. I'm wondering if you could arrange between Rainbow Arts and a retro video game company in America called Analog to do a deal to bring an obscure Super Nintendo game to the new retro console that Analog are bringing out.
Go on, what's the game?
Rendering Ranger.
Oh. Go on. This rings a bell. What is it? What is it?
It's run and gun, shoot 'em up.
Oh, run and gun and shoot 'em up. What's that game where you had to take photographs? Do you remember that?
Pokemon Snap?
No, it was a game. It was PlayStation. I think it was PS1, maybe PS2. And you were a photographer. It was one of these nuts Japanese games. And you got set missions of you had to go out and get a story, and you had to get, they would give you 5 things you had to photograph. And you just run around with a camera and you had to take these pictures.
I've never heard of that. I've only heard of Pokemon Snap.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. I'll give them a call tomorrow, Jonathan, and see if I can sort it out.
Because they're already... Hang on.
Sorry?
Sorry, I thought you cut me off.
No?
I think the reason I'm asking is this new retro console that's coming out in February. It's got a director's cut of Super Turrican and Super Turrican 2 built in, and there's no word yet on whether the spiritual sequel, Rendering Ranger, will be included.
What is this retro machine that's coming out? What's it called?
The Analog Super NT.
Analog Super NT. Let's have a little look-see at this. What the heck is this? This is a very... oh, that's that. Okay, yeah, I'll give him a call tomorrow, Jonathan. I'll get it sorted. Thanks for calling. Not a clue what he's talking about, if I'm honest. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Oh, evening, you okay?
Yes.
It's Kyle from Rochdale.
No, Iain Lee from Slough.
Oh, hello, Iain Lee from Slough. It's possibly a bit of a serious thing, but you're a gamer, aren't you?
Yes, sir, I am.
This might be quite dull, but what's your view on DLC?
I think he got treated terribly by the press. He was found not guilty of absolutely anything at all. I know people that work with him, and I know he made Paul Scoins cry, but that wasn't through. So that was just because he shouted at him down the ISDN line. I always thought I enjoyed the hairy cornflake. Quack quack. Oops.
No, DLC.
Oh, I don't know what that means, sorry.
They sang Waterfalls.
They did, they were good. Was that the one where the girl, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, died in an airplane crash?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible, it's a tragedy,
sad.
Kyle.
Oh, Run DMC. Run DMC.
You just mocking me now, Catherine.
She's taken it to the nth. She's taken it to the nth degree. What is DLC?
So it's, I think it's the digital download stuff you get for games.
Oh, is this when you download the game instead of getting a disc for the game?
No, well, it's not so much that. So the reason I was asking is, so my brother bought the latest wrestling game, costing £50 on
Hang on a minute, it's DLC, so it stands for downloadable content. Well, that's DC.
Yeah, it DLC.
It's like people who say MSM when they mean MM for mainstream media. Mainstream is one word. Downloadable is one word.
Sorry.
No, I'm not having a go at you, Carl. I'm having a go at the industry.
You are a bit having a go.
Well, he's getting the brunt of it, but yes, I'm angry with the gaming industry.
Well, no, because that was it. Because he's bought this wrestling game.
Yeah.
But to get so in the past, I realise you've got to pay money for extra stuff and get and I had to pay about £30. So you buy the game for £50.
Yeah.
You buy all the extra content for £30.
Yeah.
But he's told me there's a new thing that's come out this week.
Yeah.
Where it's like so apparently there's some bits he can't even.
If you can't access the full game without making in-game purchases, then it's a rip-off.
Well, no, this is it. So he was literally, I've just spoke to him before I rang you, and so it's like what do they call it? It's basically you get some keys to unlock a box, and then you might get some content you want. So basically, it's like in-app purchase. So that's like a complete... It's a scam, isn't it? It must be.
Well, but I don't believe that what you're describing means you can't play the game unless you buy extra stuff.
I think it's he wants to create a character, and in the past, when we've played these games before...
So he's got to create a character, you've got to pay for it, yeah?
Yeah,
but he can play the game without creating a character. Tell him to suck it up. Tell him to suck it up. Suck it up. Yes, line 2, you're on the wireless.
Hello?
Hello, line 2.
All right, is Kath there?
Yes, she is.
Hi, it's Bill Boyle, the dad.
Whatever. What do you want?
No, I'm just ringing up. I've been listening in tonight. You're doing a great job.
That's nice, isn't it? Bit of support from Dad.
Wait for it.
No, there's nothing right. I've just been looking through the old photo album.
Why are you being so cold with your dad? Have you two had a falling out again about
I think we're about to have another one.
Go on, Bill. Nice to hear from you, mate.
What's up, Kath? What's up?
She's
right.
having a bit of a strop, I think.
Not to worry. No, I'm just looking through it. Some of the old photos.
Go on, what you spotted,
Is it me riding a boy in calipers? Is that where we're going with this?
No, nothing.
Because he was
like
asking
that.
for
it. Right. No, we got your first wee on there.
Oh.
On your little toilet we bought you. Remember that?
No, of course I don't.
Why don't they make potties? Why don't they make potties that look like actual toilets?
They do.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, there is. There's one, the Fisher-Price one, and you can even flush it.
Hey?
Well, it just makes the noise. But...
Go on, Bill. Sorry, mate.
Well, we couldn't afford note like that, you know what I mean?
How do you know?
You just had to dig an hole in garden, didn't you?
Actually, that's quite close to the truth.
Well, no, I was there, weren't I? Right. So, fast forward a couple of years, right? I've seen your first boyfriend in there, right? Remember him?
Well, you won't. I kept him fairly secret. Carry on anyway.
No, I know all about him,
Yeah,
right? But that wasn't your first. You kind of mixed up a bit in the first couple of years, didn't you? We weren't too sure how you'd end up.
Oh, controversial. Trendy.
Remember that time we stumbled into your bedroom?
Oh.
All right.
And,
warn you, this is borderline libelous, but carry on.
Well, I'm your dad. I can say what I like, can't I?
Yes.
Right, get this right, Ian.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, Bill.
We hear this noise, right?
Yes.
We're thinking, is that where... Have we got an haunted house or something? Like, we can hear moaning coming from upstairs, right?
Wow. Yeah?
Right, so me and a mum walk upstairs.
You and a man?
Mum.
Oh, your mum, yeah.
Sorry, it's my accent.
Bearing in mind you've met my dad. He doesn't really talk like this, does he?
Oh, he's fair play, I can understand this one.
Bill, don't you remember you once threatened to send me to elocution lessons for talking a bit like that?
No, your accent's fine, Kath. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
So we walk upstairs, right, me and your mum, and we're hearing this moaning, right?
Yes, Bill.
And we walk in, right?
Yes, Bill.
And I won't be too graphic.
Please don't.
But, right, she's doing something.
Okay.
Okay.
Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Hello?
Yes?
Hi, is this Iain Lee?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm just calling, I've been listening to your radio station for the past few months. Just wanted to say that you're doing a really great job.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I basically used to listen to TalkSpot a lot, and I came across your channel because I was really into James Will and his radio show. And then I realized, oh, okay, he's still going on talk radio. And then I wanted another late-night radio talk show to listen to, and then there was yours.
Oh, thank you. You've made the right choice. Welcome.
How long have you been on talk radio for?
You don't need to know that.
Too long, is it?
No. But you don't need. All you need to know is that I'm on now.
You're on now, okay. Also, I listened to your talk with, I think it was the Japanese listener, Hitomi, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good talk. I'm proper into, like, Japanese culture.
What do you like about Japanese culture?
So much. Like, music, movies, anime,
what are your favourite Japanese movies?
Like Crow Zero, Blue Spring, like loads of movies.
Have you seen Audition?
audition? No, but I know it's about like someone who wants to audition for like a wife or something.
Yeah. It's nuts, man. It's a guy, and I can't remember his name, but he's a brilliant director, and he was in the country last week, and we tried to get him on the show, and we couldn't.
Damn.
But his Audition is one of the darkest, most messed up films you could ever see, and it is brilliant. I think he also directed Itchy the Killer as well, which is a great movie.
That's an excellent movie. Is it Takashi Miike?
That's the fella. Well done. Well, he also did a comedy horror film called Happiness of the Katakuris. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, man, it's great. It's this family, they own a B&B, but they end up accidentally killing everybody that stays there, and they bury them in the garden. It's a musical, and they bury them in the garden, then they all come back as zombies. Oh, it's brilliant.
Wow, that sounds really awesome. Sounds really good.
Go and watch Happiness of the Katakuris and Audition.
Okay, I'll recommend one to you. What was it called? Let me see. Murder. Basically, it's about a teacher who's kind of obsessed with killing, and he starts killing his students.
Of course he does. That's a Japanese movie. I've not heard of that. Is it a recent film?
It is quite a recent film. I think it was called... there's one called Confessions.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. And I'll recommend you another one. It's called Why Don't You Dance in Hell, or Why Don't You Play in Hell? It's a really good movie.
All right. Hey, what's your name, man?
Imran. I'm calling from Rochdale.
Hey, nice one, Imran from Rochdale. Well, listen, it's good to talk to you. We're here Mondays to Fridays, 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock, sometimes a bit later. Give us a call again, won't you, mate?
Yeah, we'll do, definitely.
Thanks, man. Cheers. Me and Kath both thought that was a prank call to start with, didn't we? Didn't we?
Just when there was something that went off in my mind.
Yeah.
That was because he was a bit stilted.
Yeah.
And a bit too nice.
Sorry, Imran. We were
waiting for the punchline.
There are a few dodge pots around at the moment, and I thought I recognised the number, and I was hovering there. And I'm sorry, but as soon as you started you knew your Japanese stuff, I thought, oh no, he's a good one there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good. Sorry, Imran. I apologise for that. Let's try this one. Line 3, you're on the wireless. Hello. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Hang on a second. Line 4, you're on the wireless? It's Chaz and Dave. But I can't hear what they're singing. Line 5, you're on the wireless. That was you laughing at my singing there.
And I recognise the cackle.
I feel a bit nauseous, if I'm honest. Here's the thing, right? Everyone says, if you got a cat and a dog, right? If you died, the dog would lie next to you and die. Right? If you died in your house, right, and no one came to help you, your dog would lie next to you and die. Mm-hmm. And what would the cat do?
Eat you.
Right.
But that's obviously not true. They would both eat you.
This is what I'm gonna... Well, okay. Is there...
You would eat them.
I was looking at my cat thinking, she's not got the brains to eat me, right?
Has a nibbly nipple.
Ever been an instance where a cat has been caught eating a corpse? Ever? Because you hear these stories, don't you? That they the police broke into someone's house and a woman was in there and she died 6 years ago. And you think, right, okay, my first thought is always, is there a cat? What's it eating? Because I don't believe a cat could not get through your flesh it could not eat through your flesh enough to do that. All it's got is because unless you're dying naked, you've got clothes on, so your body's covered anyway. So all it's got is maybe your forearms and your face, right? There's not a lot of meat there. They would have to put in... I think I'm going to throw up in a minute.
You will if I read you this story that I've just seen.
Go on, what is it?
Well, a woman, I don't really want to name her because it's quite recent, gnawed and eaten by her own cats on her kitchen floor.
I don't believe it, though.
It's in the Daily Mail.
Must be true, then.
Yep.
Must be true. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay. There's lots of new games coming out at the moment that I want, guys, including Wolfenstein 2 and Super Mario Odyssey. If anybody can help with that, that'll be great. But no, I don't think a cat would do. I don't believe that story. I think I'm going to throw up.
Really?
I think I might throw up.
Should we get you something?
No, yeah, bucket. No, I don't really think. No. This is unprecedented. This is unprecedented, guys. This could be my second time of throwing up live on air. We'll see what happens, shall we? This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio with Time to Change.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
So, I'm starting to... Have you listened to that Scott Walker album I gave you yet?
No,
Mate.
I've not found the moment because the kids are off at the moment.
Mate. Something else. And I bought this other... I've got some Scott Walker albums, and I've only listened to Scott one. But I also bought a double CD of the best of the Walker Brothers, because it had No Regrets, and it also had this song Lines on, the one I sent you. What? A big flop from the 70s, mid-70s.
How can it be a flop? It's glorious.
Incredible. We're going to end the show with Lines, right? It's the best song about divorce and cocaine you're ever going to hear. It's incredible. But hidden on this album, so there's the Walker Brothers singles, and there's also some of the solo singles. So some by Scott Walker, that voice. Then there was some by John Walker, who kind of did the harmonies, but they were all flops. And then there's a couple by Garry Walker. Now, Garry Walker is the drummer.
It's also my uncle.
He's the drummer, except he couldn't play the drums. And the only reason they kept him in the band was because his dad paid for them all to come over to England, right? He gave them like $10,000 to get a flat, and so they could sustain themselves until they got signed. And never had a hit in the States.
So he's like the Anthony Costa of the group.
Yeah. And so he was always in the group, and they had a lot of affection for him. And so he was the drummer, but he couldn't drum. And when they did concerts, there was another drummer behind a curtain. Didn't play on
You're
any...
You're kidding me.
No. Didn't play on any of the records, and didn't sing on them. And then when they got back together in the 70s, they got Garry back in, right? But Garry released some solo singles, right? And one of them is incredible, right? I think this is incredible. It's Garry Walker in the Rain. Come in, you'll get pneumonia, right?
What?
Now, as titles go, but I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I heard this today. I had to put it on repeat. Listen to this. Hang on, let me get to the beginning. I thought this was incredible. Here we go. Listen to this. It's that thing of a dodgy verse, but a cracking chorus, right? Listen, though. Here we go.
Alright, come in, you'll get pneumonia. You can stay until the morning.
And
then you go your own way. You know you let your chance go when you leave me at the station. Don't make yourself a home here. You know you ain't staying. You better phone your mother and tell her where to reach you. Never get you in the morning and not to be a preacher. I said, alright, come in and get pneumonia. You can stay until the morning and then you go your own way. You know you let the chance go when you're at the station.
Isn't it? It's something. I love songs that have got a really uncomfortable verse.
But the voice in the verse, it sounds like he's not got his teeth in.
He probably hasn't. Come in, you get pneumonia. It's a great line.
Stay until the morning, and then you go your own
I couldn't stop. I've not had anything like it in my life. It's incredible.
It's beautiful. But the thing is, that gospel voice that's in the background as well is what makes it.
Oh, yeah, totally. We'll end on lines, right? Because I'm a real latecomer to Scott Walker and the Walker Brothers, and I don't necessarily buy the thing that Scott Walker's a genius. I don't necessarily buy that. Although there's another single on there when he just starts going weird, okay, called The Electrician. And the first half of it is kind of unlistenable because it's him being avant-garde and stuff. And then the last half, it's just this incredible string arrangement that takes you up to heaven. It's amazing. So I'm playing with Scott Walker, is what I'm doing. Let's try line one. One, you're on the wireless.
It's you again.
Okay, well, that's pirating. That's illegal. And you may think you withheld your number, but we got it. And that's going to get passed on to my legal team.
And the police.
Little trolls. My trolls. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you... I'm doing some mathematics. It's called back counting, guys. That's what I'm doing. We started there. That's what we're going to do. If you want to give us a call. Oh, we didn't... we'll talk about this tomorrow. The two things for tomorrow. We're on a list of songs that are about home. I've got two.
Okay,
Let's do it. Okay. You've got to sing it. Take me home, country roads.
A house is not a home, Dionne Warwick.
Does she sing the word home?
Yeah.
Sweet home Alabama.
I'll be home. Mamba Cass.
Okay. So that's four we got there. I can't think of any more. There must be that's tomorrow. And also, I have this theory, and I came up with it last night. And maybe I didn't explain it well, because you were giving me blank looks as I was saying it to you. Does the Littlest Hobo, do they sing the word home in there? In the Littlest Hobo? Littlest Hobo, coming home.
Don't think so.
Does he not say Littlest Hobo coming home?
No.
Does he not? Okay. It's got to have the word home in it, you Muppets. There's a voice giving, every time I get a new home.
Make a new friend.
No, it's...
Can't stay for long, just turn around, I'm gone again.
Baby, no, hang on. There's a voice keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Don't stay for long. That's gone for long. That's gone again. Maybe tomorrow I want to settle down. Maybe tomorrow the whole world is my home. Boom, boom. Yes, at the end. Oi! That's in there.
Okay.
That's in there. But I have a theory that most songs are rubbish. There are more bad songs in the world than there are good songs. For every good song you can name me, I can name you two bad. At least.
Just two?
Well, I can name you more, but just to keep it easy, just to show that there are at least double the number of bad songs as there are.
Welcome home. Welcome.
Oh, he's right.
Tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. That is what is happening tomorrow. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio, and of course with Time to Change, and I enjoyed that chat with our guest earlier on this evening. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Go online, search Time to Change to find out more. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to play you the best song about cocaine and divorce that you've never heard in your life. It was a single for the Walker Brothers in the 70s when they reformed, and it was a huge flop. But listen to his voice and listen to the swelling of the strings going into the chorus. This, dear listener, is a masterpiece.
Bus line down the center line took me from the dotted lines that bore my name. Rolling, across the borderlines, looking for a peace of mind that never came. And now at last I'm free, but there's nobody here but me to fill my bed. I wish that I had read between the lines. Breadlines and the cheap wines, they're the only lifelines that I have left. Way back to save myself. And now I'm last I'm free, but there's nobody here but me. When I'm strung out, soaking wet and hung out on the line. I wish that I had read